Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Muhammad Francis with you. The standardized test of English proficiency, the step reading comprehension. The exam is called RC, reading comprehension. It is 40% of the total marks for the exam. 40%, nearly half. Grammar structure is 30%, listening 20%, and writing 10%. In this video, we will look at some vocabulary in English, do a vocabulary practice, then a short reading with 10 questions. The questions are 5 main idea questions and then 5 questions testing different reading skills. This will be an easy reading, and I will step you through the reading and show you the kinds of skills you need to successfully do the reading exam. Now, please remember this reading is fairly easy. It's an easy version. The readings in the exam are a little bit harder than this, but this is just for practice. So let's start, shall we? Let's begin by looking at some vocabulary, learning some vocabulary so that you can complete the reading. So to the vocabulary, number 1, crops. Harvest, we could say harvest also. Export, 2. Rice, 3. 4, groceries. 5, dairy. 6, meat. 7, processed foods. 8, supermarkets. 9, herbs and spices. 10, sugar. 11, soil. 12, food stall. 13, industry. 14, imported. 15, rubber. 16, to plant. Are you ready for a quick vocabulary test? 7 words on the screen. Which word means the food you buy in the bakala or the supermarket? Correct. It's groceries. Which word means manufactured or handmade foods like pasta? Correct. It's processed foods. Which word means to receive or to bring a goods or products from outside the country into the country? Correct. Imported. And the last question, which food means shop which is outside in the marketplace or in the qasaria? That's correct. It's food stall. Now try the vocabulary exercise below. Now let's read the words one more time. Meat, imported, processed foods, sugar, soil, export, dairy, food stall, rice, herbs and spices, crops, rubber, industry, groceries, supermarkets, to plant. Now try the vocabulary questions for these words. Number 1. Please stop the video, try the questions, and we'll check the answers at the end. Number 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. 11. 12. 13. 14. 15. 16. Now let's check the answers for each of those 16 vocabulary questions. Number 1. Farmers grow different types of in the fields, including vegetables and grains. The answer is B, crops. Number 2, in many countries, people prefer buying their blank from large blank for convenience. The answer is C, groceries, supermarkets. 3, blank is a staple food in many Asian countries and is often served with meals. The answer is rice, A. Number 4, many products like blank and snacks are made from blank that are not fresh. The answer is B, processed foods and crops. 5, in the outdoor market you can find a blank selling fresh fruits and vegetables. The answer is B, food stall. Number 6, some people enjoy cooking with blank and blank to add flavor to their dishes. The answer is C, herbs and spices. Number 7, the dairy blank has increased due to the rise in demand for healthy options. The answer is B, the dairy industry. Number 8, countries often blank goods like blank and machinery to meet their needs. The answer is C, import rubber. Number 9, farmers need to take care of the blank to grow healthy plants and blank successfully. The answer is C, soil crops. Number 10, the shops selling blank play a vital economic role and provide jobs for the community. The answer is D, groceries. Number 11, after the harvest, farmers may blank their products to other countries for profit. The answer for 11 is C, export. Number 12, blank can be found in many forms, from liquids to solids, and is used in many recipes. Number 12, the answer is A, sugar. 13, people often choose blank for their meals because they believe they are healthier than fast foods. The answer here is A, processed foods. 14, blank is one of the most important crops grown in tropical countries. Number 14, the answer is B, rice. 15, to grow corn, it is essential blank it at the right time of the year for the best results. The answers for 15 are A, to plant, or B, to harvest. 16, blank is a major crop used for making tires and other products. And of course, most rubber today is manufactured. It's not a crop, but some of the natural rubber is a crop. So the answer for number 16 is B, rubber. Reading 1. Look at the picture. What can you see? Yes, there is a man cooking. Where is he? Is he at home or is he on the street? That's correct. He's outside in the marketplace cooking street food. This is in Indonesia, and here is a traditional food which we will read about in reading 1. Has 5 paragraphs, and as I read, I want you to look at 2 things. First, the bolded words, and also the words which are underlined. The bolded word has a number next to it, and the underlined word also has a number. As we read, I want you to think, why? Why are there numbers here as I read? Indonesia, located in a warm tropical region, has the perfect climate for farming, with plenty of rain and sunshine. The country's good quality soil and long growing season make farming a key part of its economy. Many Indonesians work in farming, and there are three main types of farming. Small farms, growing rice for local use. Small farms, producing crops for export. And large farms that mainly export food. Paragraph 2. Indonesia's climate is ideal for growing popular crops like palm oil, spices, cocoa, coffee, and tea. It is one of the world's largest producers of these items, and many farmers also grow valuable crops like natural rubber. Paragraph 3. Farming plays an important role not only in the economy, but also in the local food culture. Indonesia's street food, such as kerek telur, is famous and affordable. These foods are influenced by the country's long history of cooking with spices. Paragraph 4. As Indonesia becomes more urban, people's diets are changing. There is more demand for imported dairy, meat, and processed foods, and supermarkets are becoming more popular. Paragraph 5. However, Indonesia faces challenges. The growing population and changing industries are putting pressure on the food supply and leading to a need to import more rice and sugar. Reading 1, 5 paragraphs. Please now use your camera and take a picture of the reading so that you can answer the questions that follow. Please note, in the exam there will be no title, but there will be numbers for each of the paragraphs, and each paragraph is separated by 2 lines. So go ahead now and take a picture and get ready to answer the questions. Question number 1. What is the main idea of paragraph 1? 2. What does the author mainly focus on in paragraph 2? 3. What does the author discuss in paragraph 3? 4. What change does the author mention in paragraph 4? Paragraph 5. What challenge does the writer highlight in paragraph 5? In question number 1, we have 4 possible answers. We call them distractors. There is only one correct answer, of course. What is the main idea of paragraph 1? A suggests it's about the long history of cooking. B says that maybe it's about the types of food. C, about farming in Indonesia. And D, about Indonesia's climate or weather. Let's go to the text and see which one of these 4 is the main idea in paragraph 1. And as you can see in the first paragraph, I gave you a number, and next to the number is the answer to the question. Number 1, the main idea. Indonesia, located in a warm tropical region, has the perfect climate for farming. It continues to tell us about the rain and sunshine, the good quality soil, the long growing season. So the answer to paragraph 1, to question 1, is D. Indonesia's climate is suitable for farming. Question number 2. What does the author mainly focus on in paragraph 2? The types of farms, A. how important street food is, making popular crops, the production of popular crops, or the history of spices in Indonesia. And if we read the paragraph, Indonesia's climate, so the weather, is ideal for growing popular crops like palm oil, spices, cocoa, coffee, and tea. So the answer for number 2 is C, Indonesia's production of popular crops. I'd like you now to try question 3, the main idea question. What does the author discuss in paragraph 3? Is it A, the benefits of processed foods, the growth of supermarkets, farming and its challenges, or the influence of farming on food culture? Let's see if you can answer that question. Let's go to paragraph 3. Paragraph 3, farming plays an important role not only in the economy, but also in local food culture. Indonesia's street food, such as kerak telur, is famous and affordable. Did you find the answer for number 3? Of course, it's 3D, the influence of farming on popular food culture. Now try number 4. What change does the author mention in paragraph 4? So we're looking for a change. Paragraph 4, as Indonesia becomes more urban, people's diets are changing. Number 4 is easy to answer. There's only one answer. Did you get it? And the answer is 4C, changes in the local diets because of modernization and urbanization. Now try number 5. What challenge does the writer highlight in paragraph 5? And the word here, highlight, you can see I've made yellow. Highlight here is to show in a highlight, in a bold way, in a strong way. Number 5, paragraph 5. However, Indonesia faces challenges. The growing population and changing industries are putting a pressure on food supply, leading to a need to import more rice and sugar. So the answer, as we scan the text, did you find it? And the paragraph clearly shows us that there is a need for more food imports, and the text mentions rice and sugar, so the answer is 5C. In the actual step exam, the reading part, one of the questions will be a main idea question. It will probably be the last question for the reading, and it will ask you to give the main idea for the whole text. Now, there will not be a title in there, so you cannot get clues, but inside the paragraph, you will find clues for the main idea, for the general idea of the text. And this is one of the skills you should practice, practicing reading for the main idea, the main idea of the texts. In this example, we read 5 paragraphs and we found the main ideas for those 5 paragraphs. Now let's go to questions number 6 to 10. And each of those questions has a particular skill that you need to do the reading comprehension successfully. Question number 6. The skill here is skimming and scanning. Skimming and scanning in reading means to read quickly over the texts, to jump into the text, and to find the answer. Skimming and scanning is like looking for a lost item when you lose something in the house and you're looking quickly around the house trying to find that item, and eventually you locate it. Question number 6. What are the 3 main types of farms in Indonesia? And the distractors, in each distractor A, B, C, D, give you 3 possible answers. Answer A, large farms. Small farms. B, small farms, large farms. C, large farms. D, small farms. So let's go to the text and see what the 3 main types of farms are in Indonesia. Paragraph 1 tells us many Indonesians work in farming, and there are 3 main types of farms. So now we are skinning quickly. Small farms for growing rice. Small farms for producing export crops. Large farms for export food. So small farms for A, small farms for B, and large farms for C. So which answer? Is it A, or B, or C, or D? Well, if we look quickly, we can see the only possible answers are B, because it says small farms and large farms, or D, small farms and large farms. So there's only 2 possible answers here out of those distractors. And the only one answer is B, small farms for rice, small farms for export crops, and large farms for export food. So the answer here is B. Question number 7 is a vocabulary question. What is another word for producers in the context of this paragraph? Now, you may have other words which you know, but we want to find the word in the paragraph which is another word, a synonym for the word producers. And I think the answer is fairly easy, but let's go to the text. It is one of the world's largest producers of these items, and many farmers also grow valuable crops like natural rubber. So we know that this paragraph is talking about farmers and producers. So the answer must be A, farmers who are producers of crops. Question number 8 is a cause and effect question. What is one effect, one result of Indonesia's history of cooking with spices? Is it A, there are many modern restaurants now? B, street food is popular and affordable? C, most people now only eat fast food? Or D, local farmers only grow rice? Let's go back to the text and look at the answer. So what is the effect or the result of the history of cooking with spices on Indonesia? Paragraph 3, Indonesia's street food such as kerak telur is famous and affordable. These foods, street foods, are influenced by the country's long history of cooking with spices. So we know that the history of cooking with spices now has an effect on the local street food. And here's the example, kerak telur. And here in the picture you can see an Indonesian man cooking the famous kerak telur dish on the streets in somewhere, perhaps in Jakarta. So the answer to number 8, it's obvious, is B. Street food has become popular and affordable as a result of the history of cooking with spices. So a cause and effect question there, which you will get in the reading exam. Question number 9 is a little tricky. It's to recognize or to know the similarities and differences. So how things are the same and how they are different. How are traditional stores and supermarkets different in Indonesia? What is the difference between the street market and the modern supermarket? Traditional stores sell processed foods. A. Supermarkets have better refrigeration for dairies and meats. C. Traditional stores only sell fresh fruit and vegetables. D. Supermarkets are located in rural areas whilst traditional stores are in the cities. Let's go to the text to look for the answer. Paragraph 4 tells us, as the diets are changing in Indonesia, there is a greater demand, more demand for imported dairies, meats and processed foods. So supermarkets now are becoming more popular. People want imported food, imported milks, products, imported meats, and imported processed foods. Well, A is not true. Traditional stores usually sell more natural foods. C, traditional stores sell only fresh fruit and vegetables. Well, that is true, but it has nothing to do with supermarkets here. Supermarkets are located in rural areas. Well, that's not true. In rural areas, you'll find more traditional stores. Supermarkets have better refrigeration for dairy and meat. So this really must be the answer. To import these products, they need places to keep them. So supermarkets compared with traditional markets have better refrigeration for imported dairy and meat products. Number 10 is a guessing question. In English, we say to infer or to guess what happens or what could happen or may happen. Number 10, what can be inferred, guessed, about the future of food supply in Indonesia? It will improve as farms open. It will depend only on traditional farming. It will remain the same and no changes, or it will be worse due to the growing population and industries. Let's check the answer. Paragraph 5. However, Indonesia faces challenges. The growing population and changing industries are putting pressure on food supply, leading to a need to import more rice and sugars. Because the population is growing and because industries are changing, the country needs to import more rice and sugar because of population growth. What do you guess is the answer from reading this paragraph? The text told us that because more and more people are being born in Indonesia, that they need to import more and more food. So the question is, what can you guess about the future of food supply in Indonesia? A, B, C, or D? And of course the answer is the food supply will be worse due to the growing population and industries. So the answer for number 10 is D. And this is one of the hardest kinds of question. I do not think you'll get many of these. You may get one or two, but I don't think you'll get inference type questions in the reading comprehension in STEP. So that's the end of reading 1, the street food of Indonesia. In it, we looked at some vocabulary. We read a short reading, and we answered some 5 main idea questions, and we answered other skill types, reading skills that you need to answer reading texts. Now, some of the texts in the reading exam are easy and short, and some of the texts are long and a little bit difficult. So the more you practice these skills, the better for you. My name is Mohammed Francis. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.